Are turned. We're going to turn the table. Well, not really. We're just going to go through some of Tyler's favorite movies. I got quite the list here, and Doug was just holding up the 20-minute sign. So 20 minutes to go over some of your favorites. I think that's plenty. I've got quite the list. Yeah. Quite the list. Some of these, wow, I can't say that I've seen. Cross of Iron.
Let me talk about that one first. Okay, Sam Peckinpah directed this film, and in some ways I consider it better even than The Wild Bunch. So
that was the next one.
Yeah. But the thing is he's most famous for The Wild Bunch, but in some ways I think this is actually a better movie than The Wild Bunch. And it basically takes in World War II on the Russian front, and Maximilian Schell plays a German-Prussian officer who wants to earn the Iron Cross on the Russian front, then go home. So he can impress everyone, hey, look, I won the Iron Cross. I'm someone important. You know, I'm a hero. But to James Colburn, who's this corporal who's fighting in this war, he's kind of the unofficial leader of the men out there. They look to him for leadership, not their officers. And he's a lower person, but he knows, he's gotten a whole bunch of Iron Crosses, and these Iron Crosses mean absolutely nothing to him because he's facing life and death every day in a war that he knows that they're going to lose and they've lost already. It's just a matter of time. So his approach is very cynical in looking at everything that's going on, and this young officer coming in, is very idealistic and naive. And it's a very interesting contradiction. The two of them, how different they are in terms of people and their worldviews, and how they come clashing head to head with each other. And as you watch the film, and it's based on a true story, this story really happened. And the guy actually killed one of his own officers on the Russian front. He was so mad at the guy, he just took out a submachine gun and shot the guy dead. True story. But the thing is kind of his view on it is like, hey, I'm facing German bullets every day. He's a German soldier. What do I have to be afraid? What can my officer corps possibly threaten me with that's worse than this? I'm facing annihilation every day. Very interesting film, very interesting story. And as you watch it, it's like I almost feel, technically I give The Wild Bunch a little higher grade than this film. But in some ways, it's like it almost deserves to be considered his best film. It's a real hit.
All right, everybody. You're watching Tyler Smith's top recommendations. We're going through some of his top movies. By the way, you're watching public access television in Iowa City. If you were just flipping the channel and you got to this. This is the recommendation show, and we're going to go through some more of his favorite films. I had here next The Getaway.
Yeah. Another Peckinpah film. And, it's an interesting story to me because a story, I can't say that I particularly liked any of the characters in the story or was rooting for them. They were all pretty much hardened criminals and scumbags, all the major characters in this. But as I watched the film, it's like these people kind of served as good, bad examples. And it's like we can learn something from that, and just how in this criminal underworld, after they pull a bank robbery, these guys start shooting and camping each other, to get a bigger percentage of the robbery. And you watch this film and you're going, man, this isn't such a good career to be in. These people are despicable, but to me, it was, one of the most important things about a movie is it has to have interesting characters and has to flow well. And even though the characters in there are very unlikable, they're unsympathetic and they're bad role models, they're still interesting people and living interesting lives. And we can learn something, from that. And it's the whole idea of, bad people that, can grow as people too, even if it's in very small ways.
Yeah, and, you got quite the list here. I'm wondering if I should go through the list and then go on to the next, but we'll just see where this goes. I just got, 15 minutes to go or so here. We only got 15 minutes to go. Tyler Smith, film buff, actor. Non-SAG carrying member, though.
Well, I will say this, though. Even though the one scene that I did in the movie, The Experiment, it's where we're eating.
Oh,
the
if you
chili.
weren't here earlier
Yeah.
in the hour, real quickly, if you weren't here early in the hour, yeah.
I was in a movie called The Experiment, and my one close-up in the movie is where we're in the dining hall, and they serve us chili that we consider to be rancid. And I take my spoon and I dump it back in the tray. And that's like my big scene in the movie. But somehow I did the scene well, and they liked it so much they used it in the film and in the trailer both. And that was my big moment in the movie. But it's funny, though, because I'm actually not... I don't really have any real official training as an actor. And I've done a lot of my own stuff, but I consider myself really to be a non-actor, actually. I just got this out of luck.
Yeah.
It's funny because Bruce Dern actually saw an audition tape that I did years ago for a movie, and he said, he may be the worst actor I've ever seen in my life, end quote. But hey, my passion is literature. It's writing, the acting
Right,
thing.
right,
but
right.
you have to do a little everything,
Well, the strengths, the screenwriting thing, the writing, and just critiquing movies, and that's basically what we're doing here. And there's an interesting little list that I have here in front of me. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The new one with
the first
Tobey
one. Maguire. Yeah, I thought it was maybe the best comic book movie ever made. It's almost a toss-up between that and Superman, but if I had to give it to the two, I might just give it to Spider-Man.
Right.
I mean, but it's so close. It's like it's hard to give it to one or the other. But I think if I were to have to choose, it'd be Spider-Man.
Well, here, how about we do this? Doug, what are we on time here? Are we on down to like what, 12 or so minutes? About 13. About 30. Okay. How about we do this off the head? We'll just, because there's a little list here, and I'm sure the people want to see, because it's a very eclectic list. Maybe we can kind of go down and give you like sound bites.
Okay, yeah.
How about that? Okay, so we'll just go down this list here. Almost Famous.
Yeah, great little movie, good slice of life film. 13-year-old kid or 12-year-old kid, he ends up traveling with a rock band and getting the cover story on Rolling Stone magazine. True story.
Yeah, based on a true story.
Yeah. I mean, a great little, what a great little slice of life movie. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely recommend it.
Guilty by Suspicion.
Robert De Niro stars in it, and it's a true story of one of the guys who stood up to Joe McCarthy, during the blacklist era, and ended up getting blacklisted himself as a writer. And it's the whole idea of, are you going to take the easy way out, or are you going to stand by your principles and stand up to these bullies, and set the right example? And
Right.
he chose to be a stand-up guy. True story, good film.
Yeah. Summer of Sam.
Adrian Brody, I think, is one of his first movies, actually, and it's about the whole Son of Sam thing, and the Spike Lee film, very good movie. And even though the serial killer is kind of a minor character in a backdrop, but it's how it affected these people's lives when that was going on. Very good
kind
film.
of like the time.